this is amazing. And then Big Head says,
Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to my stream. It's the Conformity Farm stream. It's February 12th, 2024, 7:58 p.m. And that's my buddy Mark. And we're having a conversation. I didn't want to tell him to go, so he's going to hang out with us for a little bit.
It's like there's such good bits in there.
You know, people are always telling me to watch Silicon Valley.
It's pretty funny. I've seen clips, and I think I've seen all of. I think me and John sat down one day and we watched all of season 1. And I think we watched partially season 2. But watching the clips is enough to get the funny out of it. But I mean, there's it's all right. It's an okay show.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it. It's just all right. It's tech company and what is it? The actor that plays Guilfoyle, he's really good. Then there's the guy that plays Dinesh. I forget what that comedian's name is. Damn. They're always at odds with each other.
Yeah.
Dinesh and Guilfoyle. And then you have the other comedian. Oh, he got canceled. So so his character is Eric Bachman.
Okay.
He's so the premise of the show is there's Eric Bachman.
What's up, Mr. Gruff?
And he wants to create a what would you call that? He's he has what he calls an incubator.
Yeah.
So he owns this house, and that house that he currently lives out of is his incubator. And so he's sort of captured other like-minded people like himself to grow a business. So he's using the house as an incubator to make that happen for people. And what is it? There's a character called Richard who's hired in as Cooley, but eventually he leaves because he wants to create his own company, Pied Piper, and that's when he meets Eric Bachman. And so them together are going to create their own company called Pied Piper.
Oh, there you go.
And so then, all right, Richard, he has the idea, he's a coder. Dinesh and Guilfoyle, they're coders. They bring them in to help them build this company. And what they realize is there's a creative product that what is it? It has to do with data compression. And Cooley already beat them to the punch as for this tech show, but ultimately what happens is that Richard, at the last second, he threw away everything that they had except for the compression part, and he made it super awesome. So they grade the tech, the compression algorithm using some weighted scales that some made up fucking what do you call it? Metric. They call it the Wiseman score. And so their algorithm was so good that before it was broken by Pied Piper, the metric was 3.2 made by Cooley. And theirs was like 5.2. They almost doubled it. And so that's where they start to grow as a company. So they got some media coverage of them having the best compression algorithm market that nearly doubled the bet at the time. And so that's where I stopped. That's where I stopped watching. But that's the basic premise. And so there's all kind of like bullshit things that they're trying to do as a company. And so like they have like stupid ideas and other things they have to overcome with, what the employees have to overcome, what the owners have to overcome, what Eric Bachman has to overcome. So there's a point in the show of where they're trying to market Pied Piper to other tech companies to use their platform with their company. And it's to the point where Eric Bachman gets it in his head that we have to insult these people. We have to, I don't know why, we have to insult every one of these guys because so many people are chomping at the bit that they're going to have to take that shit and we're going to get what we want. So we have to insult everyone that we know. And then because of the point where no one wants them, and they basically have to go back and grovel to all the people that they insulted, and it is cringe. It's cringe. You stood here, Mr. Bachman, and put your scrotum on my desk, and you want me to accept your apology and take and want to make you an offer for Pied Piper? It's stupid. It's a stupid show. There's a character that's from China. He barely speaks English. He speaks just enough to insult Eric Bachman.
That's pretty funny.
Like they're at odds with each other. So Eric Bachman, he fucks himself. He needs what's his name? Jin Yang. Jin Yang is that guy. So Eric Bachman needed Jin Yang. And he basically, Jin Yang renegotiated their contract to where he gets to live rent-free at the incubator. And there was nothing Eric Bachman could do about it. It's like, oh, fuck you, Jin Yang. All right, you can live there. Fuck. And what is it? So Jin Yang likes to burn his garbage. Like, you can't burn garbage here, Jin Yang. This isn't China. We put the garbage in the black bin. We put the recyclables in the green bin. But what about trash? Can I burn trash? Like, fuck, Jing. No, you can't burn trash. You can't burn garbage. But can I? Where do I burn my garbage?
Where do I put my ash?
Where do I put my? Where can I put my ash? You can use that cup there if you like.
You know what's interesting? When you come to the next scene, he actually has an ashtray. The next time we're in his office.
Oh, yeah, he does. He was anticipating. He didn't want to use his cup again.
Yeah, maybe anticipation was it. Or maybe he just, that's like the kind of guy he is.
You know that $1,000 I have from Mr. Beaumont? Well, you can just go on ahead and move it on to the studio. I'm not a bank, all right? Not that easy of a request for me to do.
All right, now be careful. Be careful, Mark.
Don't. In the wrong direction.
I'm currently streaming, so don't do any accents you would regret. All right. I'm knee deep in this scene.
Well, hello. My name is Alex Smith. I am a Caucasian male. Now you don't know what to do.
Now you don't know what to think.
Oh my God, I love that. Oh, I love that joke.
Dude, I was listening to Norm Macdonald do the moth joke right before I went on air, or right before you called.
The moth joke. How does that go?
There's a 7-minute moth joke. Oh, you don't know about this? Oh, wonderful. I get to explain Norm Macdonald's moth joke. All right, cool. So Norm Macdonald, stand-up comedian, was a frequent guest on the Conan O'Brien show, late night host. And he had the comedian Norm Macdonald on. He liked having Norm Macdonald on. And Norm Macdonald, this comedian, would generally go to a talk show and he would, prepare material and be funny on the show. On this particular day, he was supposed to get about 3 minutes on the Conan O'Brien show. So he was there for 3 minutes, and so he had 3 minutes of material. And but Conan really likes Norm Macdonald a lot. And the way he actually says it was that I was very selfish with my Norm time, so I always wanted more time with Norm. So basically, Norm's on this show, and then he's got 3 minutes of material. Then they go to break, and they say, "Hey, Norm, we're going to bring you back for the next segment." Norm goes, "Okay, how long is the next segment?" And they say, 7 minutes. So he just sits there. He kind of like goes, "Gulp." What is he going to do? And so he needed to fill a 7-minute joke, and he didn't have any joke, but he did have one joke that he was willing to do. So what he did was he made the joke 7 minutes. It's actually like a 15-second joke, and he made it last for 7 minutes. And I'm not going to do Norm Macdonald's material on my stream. It's not worth it. Actually, you know what I will do? I will play it. I'll play it on my stream now. So it's a 7-minute bit. So let's go for it. It's the moth joke. I actually was listening to it not too long ago. As in today. Here it is. Oh, it's actually looks like it's.
Do not add up to 100%.
All right, here it is. The moth joke. Let's play through share play content. Let you experience content with other people on FaceTime. Yeah, share play. Sure. So Mark, you're going to be able to hear this. And let's connect this to the Bluetooth. And that's the sound of the jungle. All right. So let's see if this works.
I'm saying with Norm Macdonald, and now not all your material comes from the news. Is that right?
No, some of my material my strongest material comes from real life.
Real life?
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car. Mm-hmm. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cars for our guests, yeah.
Yeah, so I got in it, and I get material that way. So my driver...
What do you mean?
Can you hear it?
How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
My driver tells me a joke.
The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show.
Yeah, that's how I get my material.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Okay. Why don't we just have him on next time?
That guy.
Hold on.
No, that guy. No, wait till you hear me do it.
Can you hear it now? Can you hear that, Mark?
Sometimes I wake up and I turn to some old lady on my bed.
Huh?
My arm.
Microphone muted.
Once loved,
Hey, Mark, can you hear that?
I don't know where to turn to.
Dang it.
She fell in the
What in the world?
What in the world?
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube claimed that it was sharing the feed with FaceTime. Or it might have been a FaceTime.
They know.
Well, this actually is better because then people can hear it. I don't know. I don't have enough computers on hand to make this happen, and I got to draw. That's the ultimate outcome or the ultimate agenda
Yeah,
here.
I'm about to just order food, so I'm just gonna mute myself
Okay.
for a second.
You know, that would have been the most exciting part of the stream if we could have heard Mark order his food, because Mark has perfected ordering his meals.
And I'll have hot sauce, and that's all. Second round, 26 cents, breakfast funded. Sure.
29, everyone says. 28, everyone. That's what it is. Thanks. Thanks. That's what Mark sounds like when he thanks people. When they get him food, he goes, thanks. Then he looks away. He looks down.
Oh, really? Did I not mute myself
You did, yeah.
the whole time?
Not the whole time. It was like literally right at the end of the order. You were like, thanks. That's about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what I did.
What'd you do?
Oh, I couldn't mute you.
You can't. There's just no way. I mean, why bother, huh? Mark, do you use any social media?
What?
Do you use any social media? Like, on your own?
Oh,
No? Yeah. It's hard to reach Mark. He's not on the apps. He's not.
I have a Facebook, but that's it. I'll post once every 10 years.
I think it's coming up, isn't it?
No, I posted something on December.
What'd you post?
Well, maybe you should go look. Yeah. Be a friend and go check
Just
out my feed.
see your one post.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll check it out. Oh, is that the one where you're ciphering a code?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, I am gay. And your mom's like, I can't read it. I can't. Do you remember? That's what I thought it was at first. You're like, I've just put this out
This is
here.
a really weird way of you coming out.
But the funnier part is your mom saying, I can't read it. Which is because she doesn't want to. Because she doesn't want to. Oh. You know, it's interesting. I'm doing the scene where the what'd you get for dinner?
Taco smell.
Oh, look at you, an Aristocat.
Oh, I'm an aristocrat.
No, you gotta say Aristocat. It's funny.
Oh, how do you like your steak done? Oh, medium rare. Oh, an aristocrat.
Yeah, no, it's a medium meow. Medium meow. Medium meow.
Where? I'm a medium rare.
A medium meow. Oh, an Aristocat.
Are you saying meow?
Medium meow. Oh, an Aristocat.
Oh, an aristocrat.
All right, that joke's got a timeline on it.
No, it don't.
Yeah, it does. It's only funny for so long.
It's only funny. Oh, I didn't know there's a 15-second time limit.
Oh,
No,
man.
it's no longer funny. It was funny, wasn't it?
Oh, where they
It's
shoot the
wicked
whale.
funny.
When they shoot the whale at the moon. Have I told you about that episode? Where they shoot a whale on the moon?
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Have I told you about this really great episode from the South Park guys?
You haven't told me about my favorite episode of South Park. Never.
Where he was like,
never. Yeah, my favorite episode of South Park. I've never heard of it.
where they go?
Wilsiak. Whoa.
Where they like, it's still funny.
It was funny. No, it wasn't. It wasn't funny. Come on, it was funny. It wasn't.
That's funny. It was funny.
The Matt Stone character gets lit up by PETA.
Yeah.
Time breath. But it was funny, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't funny.
You got to see it. I recommended that episode to you, didn't I?
No, Tim.
No, that's a really good episode, though. You were right. It's really funny.
I only realized because what was it? Me and John were going through episodes, and we're just at the time the new season wasn't out. So I was like, oh, let's just pick one that a good one that we've seen before, since we've seen them all. And I seen Wilsiak. I'm like, what the fuck is that one? I don't remember that one. And I've never seen it at that time. I'm like, what the hell is this? Turns out it was my favorite episode. I would have known this whole time.
Every time I had watched it before you recommended it, I'd watched it. I don't know. I guess I just didn't buy into the plot elements, and I just would only watch it passively. And then when I reassessed it, because you were in love with it, I was like, all right, there's probably something here. And I was like, oh my god, this is like fucking super hilarious. Like, they're like, dying, like just for the fucking joke. Oh. That was probably hard for them to get done. You know what I mean? Like, because that almost seems like a joke that would lose momentum after a while. Like, it only could be done if you were doing it in a week. Because otherwise, if you came back like a month later and you were working on it, you'd be like, what the fuck is it? What are we doing here?
I like to think that they were scrounging for the Wilsiak episode. Like, they were like, we gotta throw something together. Like, fuck it, yeah, whale. We're gonna get NASA to shoot it to the moon. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And I think maybe Trey Parker came up with the idea, and probably Matt Stone didn't like it too much. So they're like, oh, hey, you know what? We can work that into the thing. Yeah, perfect. That's an episode.
Soon I'll be doing the same thing as South Park, making Gigapet episodes where they're like, Barney Bear, dude, I'm about to fucking make Gigapets hilarious. I'm about to make the unicorn character a little fat bitch. Like, I'm gonna, like, yeah, the little unicorn character, yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna have to take down this episode, this stream.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Let's say another extra thing.
Fuck. No, not for that aspect, but just for, like, you know.
I called some non-disclosure agreements that you made that you might have allegedly agreed upon.
Oh, I definitely agreed upon it. But, no, just in a sense that I don't think I would want to be obvious about it. I'll probably be subtle about it. But it'll be funny. Like, I won't disrespect the character. But I'm still playing in that concept. Like, one of the first... It's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, the South Park guys are very inspiring. I mean, how can you not be inspired by them? It makes you want to go out there and make TV shows.
I've tallied it. The last 12 or 13 conversations we've at least brought them up at least one.
Really? Wow. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you have your dinner, all right?
All right, dude.
All right. Peace be with you.
All right, peace out.
Peace out. Where's this at? Okay. That was my buddy Mark. For without which there would be no Conformity Farm. All hail Mark. Okay. So, I was going to play the moth joke. Let's do it. I guess I could play it through my phone. That might be kind of whack, though. Like a phone through a condenser mic. That's not a good idea. Be better to connect it to the mic. Maybe play some music. What do we got here? We still got half a stream left, ladies and gentlemen. We still have plenty of time. Let's get some music going. Ooh, is that what I want? Oh, wow. Really going for it.
Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth disconnected.
Why don't you want to connect, though? Why don't you want to play music? There we go.
Bluetooth connected.
You have to reset the connection all the time. Wonder if there's any talking. I like listening to conversation, though. You know that thing I'm supposed to offer on a stream, but I really don't? Let's see. Anything going on here? Man, the podcast game has kind of been falling apart. I haven't seen a good podcast haven't heard a good podcast in a long time. Normie McDonald. Man, I love me some Norm McDonald. Is Your Workplace Toxic? By Adam Savage. Gotta do it.
I asked you guys to submit questions about difficult workplace questions or difficult clients, and some of the questions are fantastic. And I'm going to start off with 3 different questions. It's this one, and this one. The first one comes from Monkey Circus. How do you, quote, avoid being the type of project leader you hated working for when you were starting out? Well, that was mostly paying attention to how I felt working for a supervisor and then wanting to make sure that I never did that kind of stuff. I've had supervisors shame me. I've had supervisors humiliate me. I've had supervisors performatively dress me down in front of a room. I've had supervisors tell me that the thing I was going to do was stupid and I was going to fail at it. I mean, I've dealt with the gamut, as we all have, as every last one of us has. Having a job is, it's not, I was going to say unfortunately, but it really is just like part of being in the working world under late stage capitalism is you'll be saddled, well, I mean, really almost under any economic circumstance. I'm not sure I can state that outright. I mean, at any rate, it's a bigger philosophical question. Bosses be bosses and work be work, and like we're all going to deal with that, and I have dealt with the gamut. That was the first question, Monkey Circus. How do you avoid being the type of project leader you hated? A second question that is along the same lines, Susie Revenge says, how do you know if you have a toxic work environment? A really fantastic question. Is there a way to recognize it, including whether you unintentionally may be the cause of it? Another great question. And then Vicky Bly asks a third question, and all 3 of these I'll address. We ask questions all the time about the people who won't play nice, but how do you deal with the folks that are too helpful? Too helpful. You're describing, I think, a person who lacks boundaries, which is a really particularly difficult thing to deal with at work. So let's talk about toxic work environments. the first pass that you think of when you think of a toxic work environment is, of course, you know, people that punch down. Who Years and years ago, I read an account from a comedian that got a tour of Saturday Night Live set during its first season, and John Belushi was giving them a tour of the behind the scenes at SNL. And one of the things that Belushi said to the person they were giving a tour at was, I only ever yell at the executives. I never yell at the staff. And I love this. What he's really saying is, I don't punch down. Tom Hanks gives a little talk about this in Saving Private Ryan, how complaining goes up the chain of command, not down. Punching down, i.e. yelling at the staff, yelling at the crew, I think is one of the lowest hanging fruit of crappy workplaces. Supervisors who feel like humiliation or shame or belittling or disrespect are ways to run a crew. You cannot demand respect unless you give it. You can only demand respect if you give it. Otherwise, you are saying that the rules apply to them and not you. So those aspects of workplaces, belittling, shaming, disrespectful, distrust, hostile, blame, supervisors who are always looking for someone to blame. Again, these are all low-hanging fruits, and anti-work, the subreddit, I spend half of every day on there, is replete with stories of that. But there are more subtle ways to have toxic work environments or toxic coworkers. One of them that I have an issue with is people who won't take blame, buck passers. I had a workplace years ago where we had a buck passer, a bright young kid who, they were sort of a legacy hire. There was a little nepotism in their hiring. They were good at what they did, but there was a little nepotism in their hiring. And at the beginning of their work, they didn't take a lot of blame for stuff that went wrong. And I'm saying that in a kind of a neutral way because it's not always incumbent on you to take blame for the stuff that you got wrong. Sometimes you just got to take the blame. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's incumbent on you to fall on your sword, especially if I'm a supervisor working under a supervisor and I've got folks, dude, I'm falling on my sword all over the place for my people. I'm not going to tell them that they screwed up. But this kid was a buck passer. There was always a reason why something went wrong instead of, I'll pay attention, I'll get that better next time. However, and actually, so after about a year of working with this guy, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to work with that guy again. And within the next year, he had some epiphany, and I never spoke to him about it. And he ended up becoming one of the best people I've ever worked with. Frankly, it was that significant of a shift in consciousness. Defensiveness is often unwarranted. It is a natural place for us to go, but when you are a supervisor and you hear a but, yeah, no, that wasn't my fault. That's really not the discussion we're having. Again, some workplaces place a high level of importance on who gets blamed for what. And I have worked for large multinational Fortune 500 companies in which that's the case.
Brag, why don't you?
One of the things that happens in Fortune 500 companies is they don't like laying lots of people off at once because that's bad for the stock. So they just are constantly laying people off in small ways. And what that yields, in terms of a toxic work environment, is a situation in which whoever screwed up most recently was the first person to get fired every quarter. And
oh, I see.
Can I tell you what it's like to work for a company like that? They can't make any decisions. Because nobody wants to make the wrong decision. Because it doesn't matter how well you're doing at your job. If you made the most recent wrong decision, you are out. Companies that do that do great for their bottom line, and they savage their institutional knowledge. That is how you eliminate all your institutional knowledge, is constantly trying to lower your payroll costs by firing whoever screwed up most recently. And when you destroy the foundation of your institutional knowledge, then you just get people who are coming in and reinventing the wheel every single time. Complaining. Complaining is a minor, but it can be a major. Complaining and gossiping can absolutely create a toxic work environment. I worked for a guy. I'm going to name this outright, not the person, but I worked on Bicentennial Man in the model shop. We were making hand props.
I actually want to hear this, and I need a soda. Sorry.
All the little hand props you saw in Bicentennial Man were built in this room in Treasure Island with a whole bunch of my colleagues from ILM, and we did some great work there. It was a really, really fun gig. The supervisor on that, man, he was just the worst supervisor I have ever worked for. I'm not even sure I can remember his name. It's fine, because I wasn't going to mention it anyway. What was so difficult about him as a supervisor? He would insist on how you built something in a way that was unnecessary, micromanaging, and it yielded a poorer product. And it was like enraging to work for him on that front, because you'd be like, you hired me to build a model, and now you're stopping me from building it in this way that is efficient, will look good, will be durable. It was like a constant micromanaging. And also on that job was an agitator. There was someone who kept on walking around going, man, they're screwing you, they're screwing you, they're screwing you. Which again, that certainly might be the case. But this guy would be like, Adam, you gotta stop working so fast, man. You're raising the bar here and they're gonna expect more from the rest of us. That didn't go well with me. I'm gonna work as fast as I work.
I feel you, bro. Adam Savage.
That's how I like to work.
All right.
Wait. Boundaries, right. Folks that are too helpful. So, look, I think many of us can identify many toxic workplace environments. I think subtly toxic work environments are environments where there's not a lot of yelling or shaming, but it is a blame-based culture. But the much better question, and it's one we all ask ourselves, should be asking ourselves all the time, is, am I creating work or taking it away? When you are working on a project, you get this area that you are dealing with, and other people have their area that they're dealing with. And when you need a lot of support for your area from other people, you are creating more work than you are doing. Here's a great example. Your relative you haven't seen in a long time comes to your house and you're cooking dinner and they say, can they help? But as they move around their kitchen, they have questions about where every last thing is. And you're spending so much time acclimatizing them to the kitchen that you're not getting your work done. That's fine. That's like what it is to have family and what it is to cook over the holidays. But in a professional environment, that can be a freaking nightmare. And I think we've all worked with people who add drama and labor and decision-making to their portion of the job that is unnecessary. And so I spend a lot of time thinking about my favorite people to work with and what do they do? Well, my favorite people to work with and for over the years have been clear in their speech, clear in their expectations, clear in their critique and advice about moving forward, and they have been what I call self-contained. Like, the problems they're encountering aren't my problems. I'm dealing with my problems, and they are dealing with theirs. Self-containment is a great way to ascertain how you are to work with. And for me, I'll admit I haven't always been the easiest person to work with, not because I punch down, I don't, But I certainly noticed at a certain point on Mythbusters that, like, look, I was dealing with a lot on that show. I was in the middle of a divorce for the first 2-3 seasons.
Dango.
I was going to court a lot. I was having custody battles about my kids. It was crazy stressful. And there was a moment in which I noticed that the crew was accommodating my mood. Now, if any of my old Mythbuster colleagues are watching this, they're probably smiling. It took me a while to realize that, and I'm not, I'm not proud of that. I don't want a whole crew adjusting to my mood. I know that I'm the business end, one of the 5 business ends of this television show, and I got to get this stuff on camera. But like, we all got to get the job done. And I wasn't happy at that thought that I was creating an atmosphere in which people were, and it wasn't like people were, again, walking on eggshells around me like I was going to burst at them, because that's not the kind of coworker or boss that I am. But that doesn't mean that it was easy to work around me when I was in those moods. I have said this a lot, but I want my tombstone to say, it was nice to work with. I don't have to be the best person you ever worked with, but I'd like to be nice to work with. I'd like us all to get the job done. Wonderful questions. Monkey Circus, Monkey Circus, Susie Revenge, and Vicky Bly. I really appreciate that. Asking yourself about what creates a hostile or toxic or difficult work environment is a process. Again, if you Google, like I did before this live stream, ways of identifying toxic workplaces, there are tons of wonderful lists that people have concocted that include much of this and some stuff that I added. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course...
No, don't advertise on my stream. No. Yeah. And what else would I listen to, maybe? All right. No promises. Adam is Pog. No promises, but I think it's appropriate to stay over past 9. So, what I might do is listen to other talented people. Musicians have the lockdown on YouTube, but those who tell jokes... those audio clips are not protected. Usher married longtime partner Jennifer Giochia on Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, wow. Well, that's how I found out about it. Oh, let's do the moth joke. Here we go. Norm Macdonald's moth jokes. So if you were paying attention, Norm Macdonald was on the Conan O'Brien show, and he had like 2 or 3 minutes of material. Then Conan asked him to stay on, and he got put in this uncomfortable situation for doing a 7-minute segment, and he basically takes it on to tell, well, you'll see.
We send. I'm sitting with Norm Macdonald, and now not all your material comes from the news. Is that right?
No, some of my material comes. My strongest material comes from real life.
Real life?
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car. Mm-hmm. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cars for our guests, yes.
Yeah, so I got in it, and that's, I get material that way. So my driver...
What do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
My driver tells me a joke.
The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke?
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show?
Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my material.
Okay. Why don't we just have him on next time?
That guy... No, wait till you hear me do it. So the guy, he goes, I say, I'll be the guy.
Okay.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, right?
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Linovich, and all day long I work." honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know if Gregory Olinovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness. But I don't know. I wake up in a malaise, and I walk here and there. The podiatrist says, "Oh, yeah?" And the moth goes, "Yes." And he goes, at night, I sometimes wake up and I turn to some old lady in my bed that's on my arm. A lady that I once loved, Doc. I don't know where to turn to. My youngest, Alexandria. She fell in the cold of last year. The cold took her down, as it did many of us. And my other boy, and this is the hardest pill to swallow, Doc. My other boy, Gregaro Ivanilidovich. I no longer love him. As much as it pains me to say, when I look in his eyes, all I see is the same cowardice that I catch when I take a glimpse of my own face in the mirror. If only the cowardice was stronger, then perhaps I could bring myself to reach over to that cocked and loaded gun that lays on the bedside behind me. And in this hellish facade once
How long a drive was this? Do you live in the valley? Where do you live? Please, sorry.
He says, "Doc, sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth, just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good." And so the doctor says, "Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here?" And then the moth said, "Because the light was on."
My congratulations to anyone who stuck it through to the end. So Norm.
What?
We're pretty much out of time. No.
Well, listen, it's over?
What's that? Do it? We have I understand you've been pitching television shows.
Is it over? No, MacDonald. Let's see. All right, let's pull out a little bit. What does this look like? This will do well on small print books. Man, it took a while to get that building together. Man. Not even, the perspective is still off. Like it should go down like this. And it kind of, I don't know. Not poggers. Alright, where are we at here? 10 till. Should we listen to? Drinking dark Faygo soda. Maybe we pull out a different drawing, huh? Because this one, I can see what needs to be done, but I don't know. I guess I should get these guys angrier. I don't know. This is going to look gnarly as an Instagram post.
The son, he's older, he's got to be at least 8. And
Norm MacDonald on... All right, let's. This is Norm Macdonald on a radio show.
well, where does she? Is it? Are there black people there?
Oh my God!
What an
I ordered
open-
that on 2.5.
Well,
Why is it harder if there's black people
because
there?
black people are generally poor, and poor people are generally dangerous.
Oh my God!
Wow,
I can't believe
Norm.
you just went there.
What? Black people are rich?
Black people span all the strata.
No.
And you're saying
you
that
gotta
white
check
people
your
are
statistics.
poor. Oh
No,
my
black
God.
people are poorer than white people. You didn't know that? Are you telling me
Norm.
that you think
What
black?
I'm saying is that I try not to pigeonhole people into black people are poor, not into the truth. Listen, there's a huge ignored middle class black population out there. How dare you say black people are poor and therefore dangerous?
Because I want them to be not poor. That's why.
And really, how are you gonna? What's your plan?
My plan is to first of all admit that the black people have less money than white people, because we
Black
live in a
people,
racist
our phone number is
society.
800-400 FM97. If you'd like to talk with Norm Macdonald,
He's actually
we'd
right.
love to take your call.
Absolutely.
Michelle, you're on the air.
I just wanted to say that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And you need
What, that
to
black people
not-
are poor? It's
no,
hilarious.
The teacher thing, and
Oh.
you need to probably act like you're not offended by that, because first, you don't have a right to act like you're offended, and that was funny as hell. He is right about black people being poor. You know it. I know it.
Oh
and the
my
black
God,
people know
what
it.
has happened on your show?
Well, he taught us a lot today. I think moms.
Oh, it's a learning show.
Moms
Well,
an
Wait
easy
a
job.
second. Where have
Teachers
you
an
guys
easy
been
job.
living for the last 300 years in
Steve,
this country?
you're on the air.
Normie,
Yeah, hey, baby.
hey, you were awesome on the Bob Saget roast.
Oh, thanks, man. That's nice of you to say.
You're the best all time on the roast, actually.
Oh, really?
That's sweet.
All right, hold on. Paris, you are on the air.
I think that is completely untrue.
Go on.
Not all black people are poor.
Amen. Sister?
white.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's what you
No,
said.
you said
I
black
said
people
black
have
people
less money
have
than
less
white people.
money than white people.
You've
Yeah.
been to West Virginia? Because there's some white people with no money there.
Well,
Exactly.
well, okay. You're saying one black person has more money than one white person.
What
Sure.
about Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. What about Eddie Murphy?
You're saying by and large,
No, you're
What
right.
if
about
you break
Eddie
it
Murphy?
down.
You're right. Yeah, of course, black people have less money than white people.
As
Not
an average.
true. Not all black people have less money
Oh,
than white.
God.
Oh
but he's
my
talking in
God.
okay.
Oh my
We all
God.
get what he's saying.
Listen. Guys in a wheelchair. There's a guy in a wheelchair that can go faster than me in a race. But if I said guys in wheelchairs are generally slower than me, you know, come
The
on.
way you said it was so harsh to
Give your head a shake. Give your head a shake.
Oh my God. All right, thank you. Hey, it's Danielle from Big Brother. Famously black woman.
I need my 40 acres and a mule. I need my 40 acres and a mule. But you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Go on, Danielle.
I mean, if you think
School
about
us.
it, there's been cases where the same person will apply for a job, and at times the other race gets the higher pay. I'm just keeping it real, folks.
All right, thank you, Danielle.
Absolutely.
Chunky, you're on.
Good morning, Abnormal. How are you?
How are you, Chunky?
Hey, what about Mexicans? Are they hard workers? And are Jews stingy? What's the rest of it? And why don't white people have any culture in this country?
And I totally hear you about the iPod. I'm sick of all my phones do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, just sum it all up, Norm McDonald.
Well, I'm saying that having
Try
less...
to offend everyone equally.
Having less money or having or not having less money is not a product of your nature. It's that you don't have the money because the white people don't give you the money.
It's actually supportive of black people to say that, actually.
That's true.
Of course I'm supportive of black people. I'm in a room of racists.
That to have justice,
Oh my God! The 415 says maybe we should educate our children a la Lord of the Flies. Norm, just throw all the kids on an island and let them sort out their own society. I can't read that.
Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah, I agree.
Sure, throw them in there and just let the weak be killed and the strong survive.
No, that's what. Listen, that's what we're doing as adults. We're doing that as adults. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
We are. I just got handed a note. Do you want to keep him for the next segment? At this point, I'm not sure. I'm finding Norm to be somewhat on the offensive side.
You know what, though? I love that he's saying all this stuff and then looks over with a big smile.
I know, big smile. He's like, oh man, they're going to talk about this all day.
Well, I didn't know that everyone. I thought San Francisco was a little more open than.
No, San Francisco actually
they're racist.
Isn't. No, they're not racist.
Well, so far, by the way, most people have agreed with me.
Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, I teach 5th grade.
Huh?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's hard. I mean,
and black people are rich.
And I have some black kids in my class that are way richer and way smarter than some of the white kids.
okay. Well, you know what? Black people are richer than white people. I
Thank you.
I love Norman.
Hey, Norm.
Hey.
Hey, man, you were easily the greatest thing that ever happened at Saturday Night Live.
Thanks, man. That's nice of you to say.
The greatest updates ever. You did Howell Letterman.
All right, thank you, John. All right, here's what we're going to do. What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we going to do another segment with him or not?
I almost think we have to.
Because I actually was in the audience when you know how I went to Saturday Night Live that one time?
I do, and this is one of my favorites.
He just wants to tell a story.
All right, hold on, hold that thought.
Wait, are they bringing him back for another segment? Remember that one time I was at Saturday Night Live?
Offending people.
Now I can
left
tell
and right.
that story.
Stevie Ray from.
We're not offending anyone but racists.
How do you figure? To make a sweeping generalization that belittles it is.
It's not a sweeping generalization. It's a statistical fact, and it belittles no one. It only states a fact that I hope we can change in this country. If we're going to pretend that black and white people make the same amount of money, then nothing will ever change. Come on, you know that.
Can't we just see it as everybody?
Well, we can see it any way you want it. If you want to
Sarah's
pretend.
looking for some
You want to live in a
clean out.
fantasy world.
And you're not going to find it.
No, there's not a clean out.
You're digging.
I'm
You're
breaking.
digging deeper
We'll
and deeper.
be back. Alice at 97.3, Norm McDonald, and Stevie Ray from Spain are sitting in here with us.
The texts are great.
Yes. And thanks for the phone calls too, 800-400-FM97. You can talk to Norm if you like. All right, our text number is 25423. You can call us at 800-400-3697. A text from the 650. I'm a black woman and Norm is right and hysterical. Sarah, you're living in a fantasy land if you think we're all equals. 805 says, rude. I'm a second grade teacher and I hate you.
Rude. That sounds like a second grade teacher.
Now, Jimmy, that was just rude. Can you think of another way to say that?
To be a second grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically you need third grade intelligence. To teach second grade. You know everything that they need to know. But a fourth grade teacher needs, if you're
Hey,
a
here's
third
a
grade teacher,
question.
you need fourth grade.
Here's a question.
I don't want any more of your questions.
No.
Damn.
Why do I always hear this from women?
Okay, what?
That women make less money than men.
I don't believe that that's true
racist.
in every case. And I don't believe that is
Of course
racist.
not true in every case.
That's true for me.
Yeah, no, not the case in this room.
I think things are changing, and I think that when it comes to
I think-
racism, things are changing
I think
too.
that black
I'm trying to
lady-
look for the positive.
I think that black lady made a good point. That
Which
you,
one? That I'm
I think
living
her
in
name was
fantasy
Ruth.
land?
That you're living in fantasy land because the black people that you encounter probably make a lot of money.
707 on a text says, I wish I was a fly on the wall during that last break. I think I heard Sarah yelling at Norm up here in Healdsburg.
I wasn't yelling.
Every black
No,
person
Sarah-
I interview on this program has lots of money.
Wow.
No, she actually said she was wrong during that.
Yeah, which never has happened.
No, I said, what I said was, I'll just say I'm wrong. Let's take a couple of calls here. Actually, a couple texts. If you only need third grade intelligence to teach second grade, I wonder what Norm would say about me, a preschool teacher.
Well, it's kind of obvious.
And the 503 says, Norm, thanks for Dirty Work, still one of the greatest movies ever.
What do I need to teach children how to nap?
Nina, you're on Ambien, I think.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, the status of the society today is white man, white woman, black woman.
You think that's the hierarchy?
So I feel like
That is
this
the hierarchy. I actually
was
been doing
probably
HR statistical
from the
analysis
early
for 13 years,
2000s.
and the perfect example of that is they're going to elect a black African-American president before they elect a white woman or black woman African president.
I agree.
That's a good example right there.
I agree completely with what she's saying. That hierarchy is exactly right.
So no matter what, if you're a man, you're at an advantage, and no matter what, if you're a woman, black or white, you're at a disadvantage.
Women, we do everything and we get no credit, we get no pay. You got to go out there and get it. I mean, I get my money because I act like a guy when I'm asking for a raise, and women ought to start doing that. You know, show me the money.
Yeah, let's all do the Cuba Gooding Jr. dance. Show me the money.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Nina. Let's start our own. Let's start our own movement, shall we?
You got it. And by the way, the hardest job
Spurred
in the
on
world
by
is-
Norm
is-
Macdonald.
The hardest job in the world is HR because I have to deal with squirrely people on a daily basis.
Squirrely.
All right, thanks, Nina. Hey, thank you, Laura. You're on. People who don't want to come out and say
Hi,
what they think.
everyone. Hi there.
Hi,
I
Laura.
just wanted to give some love to Norm, put all the intense talk aside because
I know he's so
Norm is
bitchy
just
today.
hilarious.
It's not intense. He's smiling and laughing and
know.
sitting back and laughing as Sarah just turns bright red.
I know, I don't understand why people get so upset when he's just making observations of what he sees in daily life.
All right, thank you. 925 says this show's great. Norm is so freaking funny from the working mom.
Oh,
which I think means she's a mom and works.
That's tough, boy.
Maggie, you're on the air. It says here being a teacher, super duper hard work.
Yeah, you know, I was an attorney for several years. I went to both law school, and I quit being an attorney to be a teacher. And being a teacher is much more difficult work.
Is it super duper hard?
That's what it says here.
You know, I did not say super duper hard. That was either a human.
Yeah, Human put that in your subject line.
There.
And one final thing
Why is-
here. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask her why it was such hard work. but
No, I
she's
hung
not.
up on her, yeah. Jeff, you're on. You get the last word.
Yeah, hi, Norm.
Hey, Jeff.
Big fan.
Oh,
Big
thanks.
fan ever since. You used to love your sitcom even. I was sad to see it go. My favorite line on that was, "But you're a huge whore." And I was wondering, were you a voice on The Family Guy?
Is that a little catchphrase? Yeah, I did play Death on The Family Guy.
The 415 says, Sarah is an uptight bitch living in Fantasyland. She's keeping her cool because Norm is there, but if it were anyone else, she'd be throwing her usual fit. Norm rules.
Sarah,
that
you do look a little like you're about to.
I know.
You
I
do
get
look
mad.
a little restrained.
Well,
but you're passionate.
unfortunately-
You're passionate, and that's what makes you so attractive to me sometimes.
Really?
It does. You have a
And
lot
I'm all
of passion.
bundled up today, too.
But I can tell you got passion.
All right, listen, Norm and Steve.
This is our first fight.
I'm kicking you guys out of here now. We actually have to break here at Tommy T's all weekend long. It is great to see you.
Oh,
Next
you
time,
too.
I'll be more prepared for your stunning statements that just came out of left field. I have to say, I get so pissed because I can
Are you
feel...
going to rethink it now that everybody agrees with me in the
No, I'm
world?
not going to rethink it at all.
You're not going to.
I mean, you know what?
No,
I'm
she's
trying not
going to
think
have
of
a
people
better
that-
argument next time.
Yes,
is
that's
what
right.
it'll
I'm
be.
going to fight this fight mentally for the next 6 months.
All right, Norm Macdonald trolling people a little bit. That was an interesting conversation in a sense. Like, he's not wrong. But people who take her position, she's trying to take the path, the easiest
Norm
path
Macdonald
to harmony. Mark McGuire. Let's see. I'm not drunk. Our friend Russ is a little off today. Ooh, I wonder if Jim Can't Swim has posted anything. Nope. He stayed with Sarah Boone. I'll definitely watch Sarah Boone with y'all, though. I wonder how we would do that. You guys want to watch some Jim Can't Swim? Huh? Let's see. Dowell, 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 Dowell. We turn it into... Oh, goodness. You know, I don't drop my phone as much as I used to. I don't think I move around as quickly as I used to as a boy. He ain't nothing but a boy. He ain't not much but a boy. Where are we at here? Oh, Jim Can't Swim. Here we go, the Sarah Boone story. Let's get, no, that's not right. Let's do this and add Adobe like that. Then put this one over top. There we go. That's how we do it. All right, so this is Sarah Boone. And this is... Oh, we're going to have to do it through the Bluetooth. So I guess we'd have to disconnect from here.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
There we go. And then can I put this away? Oh, I can. I just have to make sure to draw.
What is the location of your emergency? 4748 France Court. Is this a police or medical? My boyfriend is dead. Okay, send a line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
Sorry, Richard. Tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in his case and we were playing. Like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep.
Like hide and seek kind of thing.
And he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened.
Okay, you hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase.
He was in a suitcase?
Yes, and I fell asleep.
Right, is he breathing?
No.
I need you to get him on the floor, flat on his back for me, okay?
I did. I tried giving him CPR.
Yeah, okay. Okay, listen to me. Lay him flat on his... Okay, ma'am, listen to me. I want you to lay him flat on his back for me on the floor.
I did.
Okay, wait.
He's stiff and purple.
Okay, man, that's fine. We're still going to do compressions on him, okay? Place the heel of your hand on his breastbone, right in the center of the chest.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
If I look at him, you can tell.
Okay.
Please. Okay, he just gurgled.
Okay, listen to me.
He just gurgled.
Take the heel of your hand, rub it to his chest, rub it to his breastbones. Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Yes.
We want to pump his chest to me hard and fast, twice per second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who for now?
Oh, that's it.
This is 42-year-old Sarah Boone, who you just heard on the 911 call a few seconds ago. Her boyfriend was 42-year-old George Torres Jr., who she locked inside a suitcase the night before, ultimately leading to him dying of suffocation. Sarah's explanation is that it was a totally unintentional and unforeseen accident, but what she's completely unaware of at this particular moment is the fact she recorded 2 videos on her phone last night, the first of which was taken at 11:12 p.m., and shows her laughing at George while he's zipped up in the suitcase. But George isn't laughing. He's asking to be let out and repeatedly stating that he can't breathe. The second video was recorded 11 minutes later, showing the same thing, except the suitcase was flipped over and in a different area of the apartment. Sarah is both unmistakably and heavily intoxicated in these videos, which may explain the fact she didn't delete them. It would be safe to assume that she has no idea the videos exist. And yes, you will see the moment she becomes aware of their existence. But we first have to acknowledge how this episode was even possible, and that would be the Law and Crime Network. They sent us the uncompressed documents that comprise this video, and almost every case we have covered, or will cover, is already available in its raw form on this channel, which includes the two main items of public record in the case of Sarah Boone, starting with the body cam footage, which is right where we left off.
Hello there. I had a cigarette left. Get it for you, okay? Wait 1 second, okay? I really need something to drink. Okay, well, I got my Dr. Pepper on the counter. Okay, we'll take care of you. 1 second. What's going on? I just got here, so fill me in. No problem. Like, me and I were putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together. You were putting a puzzle together? Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there. Okay. Like, having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night. Okay. So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So he gets in the suitcase. Okay. Who is this guy? That's my ex-husband. My former husband. How did he live here with you guys? No. I called him over here. Okay, okay. I didn't know what to do. Here, let's talk in private, okay? I called you guys. All we had was a bottle of wine. Literally, just a bottle of wine. Okay. Doing puzzle artwork. Then we decided to play hide and seek. That's all that happened. Okay, okay. Here, let me fill this deputy in, okay? Please, may I have my Dr. Pepper? I am so caught now right now. It's on the counter.
Yeah, the Dr. Pepper isn't going to help you.
Here, I want you to sit down because I don't want you passing out. This is probably a lot for you to deal with, right? I can get you some water, okay?
The officer then talks to Sarah's ex-husband.
11:30 is when I start calling to find out this is supposed to be her day.
He referred to the fact that Sarah was meant to have custody of their son today.
I'm really not very good about always doing it.
They called back and said she was still there, or she came back.
So I was calling to find out if she was going to be getting him or not today.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Got over here, told her she call 911, get somebody over here, and then basically she said she needed to go outside, have a drink and a cigarette. But I called her.
1 second, okay?
He's currently on parole because of it, so
This is domestic violence with her.
yes.
Okay.
He explains that George has been arrested for domestic violence multiple times against Sarah, and that Sarah's literally bailed him out every time.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, she's getting water from the tap. Probably gonna pass out on it. Okay, well listen.
The police officer asks the ex-husband to stick around for a little while longer. She then gets a notepad and returns to Sarah to collect more information.
At some point you put him in the suitcase? No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right where it is.
Right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there?
Yes.
Thought it would be funny a little bit?
It was. We both were laughing about it. And then
We were both laughing about it. He's like, hey, this is so fun. No.
I just totally
You
forgot.
began to do CPR on him?
Yes. Yes.
About
And he
what
gurgled.
time this morning
He
did you
gurgled.
start doing that CPR?
No, it was the afternoon. And air was coming out and he was gurgling, but I could just tell by looking at him.
But you knew how to do CPR, you were doing that on your own?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to sit back down because I don't want
Can
you.
I have one more sip of water, please?
Yeah, go.
Can I have a cigarette, please?
Ma'am, I can't take anything out of the house.
It's on the back porch.
Nope, all of it. It's secure, okay?
The officer then confirms the ex-husband will be taking custody of the child.
And your child is in school right now. He's not here with you.
No. He's
Okay,
in school.
he's in school. How old is he?
This will be a fun one. He is not. He's third
I
grade.
can't even start with how you would explain something like this. Okay.
The ex-husband leaves, and the officers wait for investigators to arrive.
Not right now. We can't have you go and get anything. Why don't you sit in the shade?
The investigators then arrive.
Hey, Sarah. You get enough water? No, if you want to stay seated, I don't want you getting lightheaded. So remember I said the detectives were going to come out and talk to you and go from there. They're here. They're going to ask you a few questions and then go from there, okay? All right.
All right, sir. My name's Chelsea. My partner Scott.
They ask Sarah what happened.
So he decided to get in the suitcase. So I thought it would be funny to, and he was laughing about it too, to dip him up in there. I go upstairs and fell asleep. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
After you zipped them up, did you move the bag around the basketball at all, or you just zipped it up and walked away
And
back?
I both were laughing about it, but I went upstairs and I fell asleep. I'm afraid for my life. I want you to know that. I am
Why is
afraid
that?
for my life. His family has never liked me. Have you called any of them?
We talked to his daughters yesterday.
No, I mean, like, about this. Does
No.
anyone know? Okay.
They're
So
gonna
it's...
kill me.
Okay,
Do
well...
they live local?
They're gonna kill
Down the
her.
road. They're going to kill me.
The detectives reassure Sarah that she's not about to get murdered, and then go in to investigate the apartment.
Just stay seated, okay, Sarah? I know you're panicking, okay? Just relax. We'll come and talk to you. We'll keep checking on you.
This police officer was brilliant. Her temperament was perfect for the situation. The investigators simply asked Sarah to stay somewhere else for the night, and to come to the police station the following day with any questions she might have. Sarah stayed with her ex-husband, then showed up at the sheriff's office the next day at 3:51 p.m. with an entire handwritten page of questions, the first of which was about when she's getting back her phone.
I'm gonna have you sit in the green chair that doesn't move. Appreciate you coming in. Yes, ma'am.
Sarah takes out her page of questions, which the investigator semi-acknowledges then brushes off.
So obviously, he received his autopsy. So I'm gonna read you your rights again because we have to talk about that. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me? No. And do you understand what I just read you? Yes. Perfect. Okay.
Sarah has no idea what just happened.
This morning we went to his autopsy, and we were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little.
I haven't laid a
swollen.
hand on him.
Okay.
Forensics have since proven that George sustained his injuries the night he died, and he didn't have them
Dang,
before
how do they
entering
know
the
that?
apartment.
Also,
It's nuts.
he fell off my son's bike,
Okay.
so I don't know. And he's notorious for running into the wall or the halter.
Notorious.
So I-
There goes
The
George
investigator
again,
details
running
further
into
injuries, including a
walls.
contusion on his neck.
And they're all recent. Like they occurred recently. It wasn't something that occurred post or that occurred a week ago, or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They definitely occurred, the night leading up to when he was.
In all honesty, we have not gotten into it. I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is. We had a good time sitting on the back porch, having wine, and smoking a couple of cigarettes, and then decided to go inside and literally paint, do puzzles, and play, and listen to music. That's why.
She had all night to set this up, which is the issue. For all we know, she could have designed this entire scene of events from scratch. There is a 12-hour gap between the timestamp on her videos to the moment police showed up on her doorstep, which is plenty of time to assemble what looks like a very pleasant scene of events that in no way precipitated a drunken act of revenge that ultimately led to murder.
Nobody got out of sorts. This is what's mind-blowing to me. I have no clue. Nobody laid a hand on anybody.
He also had, on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on his head and his skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him.
I
considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him. I have no idea. We had a good day. It was a good day. We've had
Today
good
was a
days
good
lately.
day.
It's been good. I don't even know where this is coming from.
The interrogator now brings up Sarah's last call to police, reporting domestic violence.
He said a month ago he hit you with a curtain rod.
Yeah, with a curtain rod. That's why I can't believe you guys didn't take that either.
She just referred to the fact that George didn't face charges for the alleged assault.
We've been good. I don't know if, it's since the last time he got out of jail. We've been good, and he's been having his classes.
What do you mean by good? What's your definition of good?
The probation officer?
No, you said you guys have been good. What's your definition?
I've been good. I don't think you all understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep. That's usually what it is. I don't know if you talk to Brian about any of that, but most of the time when I flee, I go over there. So
Sarah is detailing possible motives for retaliation. Routine procedure would be to keep her train of thought locked on this element, provide encouragement and understanding while inquiring further into the suspect's grievances with the victim. The only problem is that the lead interrogator really doesn't like Sarah, and abandons the task of pretending to, which makes this a significantly flawed, yet remarkably entertaining process to bear witness.
Right, but you're saying that you guys have been good, and when I asked you yesterday, the last incident that you could remember was the curtain rod incident, which you said was a month ago, so give or take. Right.
The investigator challenges an earlier assertion which remodels the discourse, and the suspect then starts defending her relationship with the victim.
I really love him, like I do, and I feel like I can help him. He came a really long way, and he was trying. He was really trying.
She somehow transitions into the principle of how she doesn't normally drink, and it's kinda only because of George that she drinks at all.
The occasional wine, whatever, or if it's a weekend, that's when you have a good time. You don't have to wake up the next day. I have to wake up the next day and do things. I can do 50 things at once and still know the 50 things more prior that I need to get done. He can't process like that. He didn't process like that. So the next thing you know, he doesn't want to deal with it. I'm going to go get something to drink. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone.
Ask everyone.
I helped him. I took care of him.
Sarah talks about George's anger management classes and the supposed progress he was making.
And would always come home and show me his papers. And we would look over his papers together. Where it's like, wow, you actually are learning this in class? And some of the stuff that they would show them, like videos, he would come home and be like, Sarah, I'm so sorry for what I've done to you. He changed. And that's why you're still with him, even though he's done all these things to you. And when I tell you I love him, I love him.
When you love somebody, you have limits.
Everybody tells me that.
At some point, somebody gets enough.
In the next moment, the detective will say, then they have to do something to defend themselves. Sarah's temperament will completely switch at the completion of this sentence.
Then they have to do something to defend themselves.
I would just flee. And I don't know if you would like to see it on my phone, or I think it's actually on a laptop.
She explains how she once filed a restraining order against George, then for some reason brings up his ex-wife.
When I say a monster, she's a monster. Like it does,
The interrogator lets her vent about the ex-wife for 2 minutes. She will now bring the focus back to the investigation.
Since talking yesterday, do you remember any like timelines better? Like what time you guys were playing? What time he was zipped up in the luggage? What time you went upstairs? We started because we cleaned the house a little bit, did some laundry.
She recalls the game starting at around 4 p.m. and her going to sleep at around midnight.
So I have 4 and I have midnight, so there's a big gap. So I'm just curious, like, if you recall when you went upstairs to hide in the shower, or like when we started to play hide and seek. Yeah. Well, we went inside probably about, if I had to guess, we weren't out there too long. Worked on the puzzle again, finished it, started to paint. Well, started to listen to music for a little bit. Started to paint. Can we turn the music off? No problem. Started to top, paint, whatever. I don't want to paint anymore. Let's just, come on. Okay, you want to play hide and seek? What he does is, okay, tag, you're it. So it's like, okay, we know. Okay, take off.
That's not how you play hide and seek.
That's what we did. Have you guys ever played you said you played hide and seek like probably 3 times in your relationship. When you have played, have you ever zipped him up in a suitcase prior? No. Okay. The suitcase originally is in our closet, buried all the way to the back. If you, I know the CSI people saw our closet. Our closet needs to be cleaned out really bad. My son's clothes need to be cleaned out really bad because they don't fit him anymore, and I'm tired of looking at them. So he took it upon himself, including that suitcase, to take it downstairs so we can get all of our clothes, our dirty sheets and everything, and just leave the whole thing by the clothing.
Yeah, I'm having a bummer with these crowds, right? I give myself these situations where I have these huge crowds.
Like, have you ever zipped him up in anything, jokingly or not? But obviously, I understand. You know, you're claiming that Sunday it was a joking matter. You were laughing, he was laughing. But what I'm just asking is in the past, like, is it something that you guys normally do? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so do you remember making any videos or maybe having any any photos, videos that you remember doing on your phone on Sunday? No.
I think I took a picture of a dog.
Okay. So I have something that I want to show you that we found, and it was from your phone.
With regard to the colossal realm of interrogation footage, the level of notoriety these next moments acquired is virtually unprecedented. I feel like this picture belongs on a wall somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Can you see it?
If you need to move it around, go ahead.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me.
Your battery's about to die.
Shut it down.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Sarah may have been hoping that that was the end of it. Really can't say that I blame her for that.
Is it long? Because I don't know how much I can take.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how much I can take. Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
You can either explain
she's
it,
avoiding
or we
it.
take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on. That's it.
It's that long?
2 minutes.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me. Fuck you. Stupid.
Aw, she's insulting him.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
I don't want to watch it, please.
Oh. Man, people like that are always trying to avoid responsibility.
And you're saying fuck
So
you.
this is upside down.
The interrogators should not be cutting each other off, but their missteps can be forgiven on this occasion due to the power of the evidence, which the lead detective will now focus on.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
So this image is upside down, and then this small video that occurred 11 minutes later, it's flipped over the other way, closer to your dining room table.
Okay.
Now he's obviously still in there. So he didn't, how did it go from the back to the front?
I flipped it.
Okay.
My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep.
Well, that's what you did.
Yeah.
But not intentional.
No, you told me you went upstairs because you were getting ready for bed.
Just to be clear, Sarah still has no idea how screwed she is. She just referred to an earlier statement that she didn't lock up the suitcase all the way, so George could get out.
Stop here.
Okay, but
Where's here?
show me where you can see any fingers coming out.
It's, and his head's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So going like this, it's like this.
But why is he saying I can't breathe, and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
And it doesn't show a hole.
There's no hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just showing you. I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end, it sounds kind of like a...
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying fuck you,
It's not malicious.
then what is that?
My intention was not to leave him in there. Please understand that. My intention was not to leave him in there.
This video is at 11:12 when it starts, so was he in there for like a long time prior to recording this?
No.
No.
I think we've all gathered by now that Sarah might be twisting the truth in her favor a little bit. She seems to have forgotten that 2 minutes ago she claimed to have no recollection of this incident, so her impeccable memory all of a sudden seems rather selective.
But I didn't think that he was, like, panicky. Like,
So pushing up on a suitcase saying, Sarah, 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 I can't breathe. And you're the only one laughing.
Okay.
And you're the only one saying derogatory comments. Like you're mad.
No. Please don't, I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this, but, like, it's like you guys are kind of trying to, like, feed me.
The interesting thing about Sarah is that her intuition is correct. She sort of recognizes what the police are doing here, but still has no idea of the ramifications. Her energy resembles that of someone who feels the police are about to start rumors about her.
Like, no, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said. My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep. My plan was not to, he'll be up here any minute. But you willingly went upstairs and went to sleep.
Yeah, she does not like her.
My plan wasn't also to leave him in the suitcase. So why didn't you take him out? Because I went upstairs and then I fell asleep. But why didn't you consciously think he's asking to come out? I didn't do it intentionally.
What do you think is going to happen if you leave somebody in a confined space like that?
Well, I thought by not giving it up all the way, it would be okay. My plan was not to leave him in the
And what was
suitcase.
your plan?
Waiting for him to come upstairs. I thought it was like, I thought he was okay. Like I didn't, that, you
He's
all.
telling you he's not. He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe. He's saying your name and you're like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
Guys, that's how we are with each other. The whole suitcase thing never happened before.
Sarah tries to move on to another topic, but the interrogator doesn't allow it and brings her back to the specifics of the evidence.
Again, his head is closer to us facing the video, so we should be able to see fingers, and we don't see anything. We see no movement of him trying to unzip it or physically unzipping it. All we see is pushing up, trying to push out of it. Please do not assume. I mean, you put him in, so why didn't you take him out? Because I was upstairs and I fell asleep. No, before you went upstairs. You, like, consciously had to walk upstairs. I mean, you obviously remember going to bed because you were able to give me a time frame on that. And you specifically told me that you went upstairs. My intention is not for this to happen. I am sick about it. I've never done anything like this before in the past. I am sick.
The lead interrogator starts playing the video as Sarah is mid-sentence reiterating her innocence.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you all want me to tell you because this was not in any way, shape, or form. You admit to moving the suitcase, like, over. So you roll it out, like, it's not like. I didn't want it to be like that. You didn't want him to be upside down? How do you even get upside down? Right. You guys are killing me right now. I don't know how you want me to say it. I didn't mean to leave him in there.
Okay.
What's your reasoning for not calling 911 sooner? Because I didn't know what to do and how horrific it was. I called Ryan, and like what, 5 minutes later I called you guys? Not even 5 minutes. And it was continually doing CPR with the dispatch on the phone. So when he asked to be let out, like what's your reasoning for not letting him out? When I was upstairs? No, when he's asking on the video. He asked multiple times. He asked to be let out, I can't breathe. What, like, why didn't you let him out? Well, number one, I had no idea it was going to end like that.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, just.
As they got you talking, they'll agree with you.
I'll give you 5 minutes or so in there. They'll give you 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes for what?
This was an absolutely imperative moment to allow the suspect to elaborate, but the lead interrogator cuts her off.
Well, based off the video, one video's at 11:12 and the next one's at 11:23, so you actually gave him at least 11 minutes per video recording.
Whoa.
So my thing is, when it stopped, he asked multiple times, I mean, why? Why did you not let him out? It's just a simple question.
Man, she lays right into her.
I mean, don't
Were you
know.
punishing him?
No. Just,
Well, that's what you're saying in the video.
this is what you get, this is what you make me feel like. See, and then it's all backfired on me. I will never drink alcohol again.
Okay.
I don't care what it is in any way, shape, or form.
But let's get back to this. When he's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe, let me out, and you say, fuck you, why don't you just let him out? What are you trying to prove to him? There's obviously something in your head that you were thinking of when he was asking to be let out, and you're like,
Again, it's the boy calling wolf. And it's not
fair. It is not fair. You guys are trying to, again, oh, he's in there. Night, night.
He's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't. I didn't intentionally mean for this to happen.
Well, my question is, why didn't you just let him out prior
Let's
to
grab
going
another
out?
I
one.
don't know why.
This would be a good
He's
one.
begging to be let out. He's not laughing. He's not having fun.
So are you guys, so what is it you're trying to, like,
We're just trying to figure out why.
Why?
What?
Why?
What was the motivation for leaving him in the back?
Why he was left in
I
the
didn't
back.
have a
I
motivation.
didn't have any motivation. It was me, he and I having a great day, fooling around and being stupid.
You know, it's a good analogy for the day, excluding the fact that he's got a bump on the back of his head, a bump on the front of his head, and his lip is busted, and he has a
Oh my
bump on his eye. I mean,
I don't know what you all want me to tell you. Like, this is not fair that you all are assuming that that's from me.
where else did it come from?
If you were, say it's opposite, you were in the suitcase and you're asking to be let out, should they not let you out?
Eventually. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm blaming it on the wine.
Blaming on the wine.
Blaming
After
it on
talking
the
to
wine.
you, everything was laughing and fun. Now we're watching a video where it's not laughing and fun. He's begging for his life, and you are in a very angry voice telling him to fuck off.
No. It's not fair that you guys keep trying to say that that's what I did.
And
If he could push it open, why wouldn't he have gotten out himself? Why would he beg you to open it?
tell you he can't breathe.
Okay.
If someone can do something for themselves, they're going to do it. They don't need assistance.
You two didn't lay hands on each other.
No. No. I don't have anything.
You're right. You're telling us that we're assuming stuff, but what we're simply doing is telling you what we saw in the video and
I
repeating what you told us.
I understand. Because I don't remember that.
Okay? Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it.
Sarah now gets freaked out by the male detective. She thinks he's texting someone about her, which creates an absurd yet hilarious moment.
So is the texting thing something about me? Like what's
the what? Texting? Oh no, I'm texting.
So, I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in the bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out, and you said, fuck you.
Not intentionally.
You got up, and you went up to bed.
You all?
Please sit down.
Listen to me. I did not intentionally kill him.
I got you on video screaming, fuck you.
This is what it feels like when you're choking me. There's still feelings towards it. You wouldn't say it if you didn't feel it.
And then you flipped the bag around several times.
I didn't do that intentionally.
You didn't intentionally flip the bag around?
No, why would I do that?
Well, you
Good
told us
question,
you
you
did.
did.
When he was upside down.
See, people don't generally challenge what this lady says.
It had to be
So she's giving them the runaround, and they're professionals. So
then it shows it on the other side with him in it, so you had to flip it to there. Then there's another video where it's on his back again, so you had to flip it
I'm
there.
leaving it like this, please. I'm leaving it like this. I did not intentionally do this.
You left him in there. You did trying to
Oh my
dance around the
gosh,
fact. You left him in there.
This is not.
You didn't leave him in there?
It's not cool. Like this is not cool.
You intentionally left him in there and left the room. You went upstairs to a different room.
I would do anything for him.
Well, you gave up checking up on him.
You let him out of the suitcase.
Oh gosh.
Anybody look at it, I don't think anybody would look at that video and go, George is having fun right now.
that lady is
The
nuts.
discourse repeats itself a few more times, and then Sarah brings out her list of questions.
So, am I getting my phone back?
No.
Not today.
What about Lucas's laptop?
No.
Not today.
How do I go about getting his wedding ring, engagement ring?
It's at the medical examiner's office. It'll come to us eventually, and then
It'll be released to
oh,
the next of kin.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought it for him.
That is a civil issue. It was on his finger, it goes to them. They're the ones that are going to release it. We don't have any say in that.
So I won't get that back. So, what's next?
They're gonna come and swab your fingers.
No, I'm talking about like in the long run. Like, what do I need to like? Do I need to be doing something or like?
I can't tell you what to do.
I mean, like, so like for. Like, I don't understand, like, I don't know if you guys are just gonna, like, I'm not admitting anything about being intentional, and like...
We told you everything that we have. You know everything that we know.
So after this, what? I'm done?
And then they go, yeah, I'm done. She didn't understand.
In itself, for me to have to live with getting him out and doing what I did is punishment enough. Nonetheless, I have to live without him now.
His daughters too.
Are you trying to make it worse?
Sorry, what?
Are you trying to make it worse?
There's no comment.
CSI, that was there yesterday.
Forensics take her DNA and fingerprints. The investigators then return.
Okay, Sarah. So, you're not free to go. Okay.
This comment seriously puts Sarah on edge, but she still won't quite be fully aware of what's happening. This is coupled with the fact the investigators now try to get a solemn declaration out of her to close out the interrogation. The psychological dynamics of the moment are extraordinary.
So, do you promise everything you told us was the truth?
Oh, they need a declaration. I see.
Everything we've talked about today?
Yes. What do you mean?
The investigator explains that it's just protocol.
Do you promise and swear that everything we talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge.
Correct. Yes.
Why?
That's how
Anytime
you
we talk
swear.
to somebody,
The male detective re-explains that it's just routine, only in a far more comforting tone. But the tone doesn't do a whole lot to reassure Sarah. She looks about ready to get swallowed up by a wormhole and take her chances in a separate dimension.
it's not a trick question.
To the best of my knowledge?
To the best of your knowledge.
Everything that you've told us today is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall. Put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No.
No, why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
Not intentionally.
So this was a trick. You were right, you're right.
Why is it happening?
Because
Before y'all said I could leave. So what am I supposed to do now?
I
I
don't,
had
I
a
don't
sneaky
work in
suspicion
the...
this was going to happen. And I need water, like, really bad, please. You all check me down here.
An officer comes to take Sarah to the jail, but Sarah has questions first.
Those holding cells, the holding cells, am I going to be put in one of those?
I don't know.
Last time I had a panic attack.
Let them know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go, stand up.
I have not...
So what am I going to do with my purse? What made you all decide to do this?
Made us decide to do this?
Uh-huh.
George is dead.
You guys, I knew this was going to happen.
You did?
Sarah was taken to the Orange County Jail at 5:44 p.m. She was charged with second-degree murder and held without bond.
Wow.
Which, keep in mind, was in late February of 2020, just before the entire planet went into lockdown due to a pandemic. So Sarah must have had a real fun time getting acclimated to the new environment. She's been in the county jail since, with a trial date set for April 10th of this year. She's currently working with her 7th attorney. 6 have already filed motions to get the fuck out of there, and all of them cited the same reason, which was irreconcilable differences.
Well, there you go.
She's a good teacher.
That B word is crazy, bro.
Snorting. I want to know right now.
Where in the world is, There you are. Okay. Alright, y'all. Alright, McGruff, thanks for hanging out. I did not get much sleep this weekend, so I definitely need to crash. Got some decent work done. Worked on some crowd stuff, some of the bigger images. There's still a bit of work that I'm that I guess I'm not really avoiding. I'm trying to find the most efficient way to do that. So I'm actually not going to be hard on myself. I've been all right, but I do need to up my hours. Upping my hours. I'm basically going to draw around the clock between now until the end of March. So obviously some things will come up. I'll socialize. I'll pursue romance. I'll pursue better health and development. I will earn income, but ultimately I will be back in this chair doing this stream of the things that can be streamed. Some stuff can't be streamed because it's too boring and it requires me to sit in silence. Maybe one day people want me to stream that, but probably never. Anyway, so I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for joining my stream. I keep bringing in content from different places, conversation, music, podcasts, to kind of hold the edge over, because I'm just a little worried that I'm not doing enough for the stream. So we'll figure out something that works, something that I like. Maybe we'll bounce back and forth. Maybe I'll take the microphone for a certain amount of time, then go back to drawing, and then I'll listen to music, and then we'll have that. But over time, we'll just get through these streams one at a time, huh? No reason to overcomplicate it. Anyway, sign off to everybody. I just want thank you for, if you made it this far in the stream, I'm amazed. Thank you for checking it out, and take care and be good.